Imagine you're standing in the middle of a bustling city. The neon signs are flashing, the honking taxis are screaming for attention, and you have absolutely no idea where the nearest coffee shop is. Now imagine a tiny piece of paper in your pocket that can tell you not only where that coffee shop is, but also how to get there, what the traffic looks like, and whether the barista is currently on a break. That, my friends, is a map. Humanity's oldest, most indispensable cheat code for making sense of a chaotic world. But maps are far more than just road signs on paper. They are the DNA of civilization, the invisible threads that stitch together exploration, trade, war, love, and everything in between. So let's pull back the curtain and answer the question: what is a map? Definition. At its core, a map is a symbolic representation of a portion of the world, be it a city, a continent, or the entire planet, flattened onto a two-dimensional surface. It's a snapshot of reality, drawn to scale, but not in the way a photograph is. A map chooses what to show and what to hide, like a storyteller who decides which details deserve the spotlight and which are left in the shadows. The word map itself traces back to the Latin mappa, meaning tablecloth or napkin. In ancient times, people literally drew on anything that could lay flat. Cloth, animal skins, even the back of a Ptolemy's grocery list. Okay, maybe not that last one. The key is that a map is a model of the world, designed to help us navigate, understand, and communicate spatial information. But a map is not a static relic. It's an evolving language that has been spoken in cave paintings, on clay tablets, on parchment scrolls, on printed paper, and now on glowing screens that fit in our pockets. In each iteration, the goal stays the same: to turn the bewildering vastness of the Earth into something we can hold, read, and most importantly, trust. History. The story of maps is as old as humanity itself. Long before GPS satellites circled the globe, our ancestors were leaving their mark on the world in the most creative ways they could imagine. Picture a dimly lit cave in Lascaux, France, about 17,000 years ago. A prehistoric artist, perhaps a little bored after a mammoth hunt, scratches a few lines onto the wall. Those lines, now known as the Lascaux Cave Map, depict the layout of the cave system. Perhaps the first attempt at "you are here." It's not exactly Google Maps, but it's a start. Move forward a few millennia to ancient Mesopotamia. The Babylonians, those brilliant engineers of irrigation, created the Imago Mundi, a clay tablet dating to around 600 BCE. It shows Babylon at the center of the world, surrounded by a circular, bitter river. In other words, they drew their world with the capital city as the epicenter, a concept that would later be reincarnated in countless maps that placed any given city at the center of the universe. Talk about a local bias. Then came the Greeks, who took mapmaking from a scribble to a science. Eratosthenes, a librarian in Alexandria, actually measured the Earth's circumference around 240 BCE, using shadows and a bit of trigonometry. He was off by only a few hundred miles. Impressive when you consider he didn't have a calculator or a coffee break. Ptolemy, a few centuries later, gave us the coordinate system of latitude and longitude, forever shaping how we locate places on the globe. The Middle Ages saw maps become a blend of geography and theology. The famous TO maps placed Jerusalem at the center, east at the top, and the world as a circle surrounded by the ocean, a sort of medieval "you are here" for pilgrims. They were not exactly accurate, but they were spectacularly artistic, often adorned with mythical creatures and biblical stories. The age of exploration in the 15th and 16th centuries turned mapmaking into a high-stakes industry. Mariners needed reliable charts to cross oceans that seemed infinite. Enter Gerardus Mercator, who in 1569 introduced the Mercator projection, a cylindrical map that straightened out the rum lines, making navigation easier for sailors, albeit at the cost of distorting the size of continents near the poles. For centuries, schoolchildren would stare at a map of Africa and think the continent was roughly the same size as Greenland, thanks to this projection. It's a cartographic joke that still makes geography teachers wince. The printing press accelerated the spread of maps, turning them from bespoke works of art into mass-produced tools. By the 18th century, surveys like the Cassini maps in France were producing detailed, accurate depictions of entire nations. The age of the great map was in full swing, and the world was quickly becoming a little smaller, one line at a time. Modern technology. Fast forward to today, and the map in your pocket is a miracle of silicon, satellites, and sheer human ingenuity. First, there's the Global Positioning System, or GPS, a constellation of about 30 satellites orbiting Earth, each constantly whispering, "I'm here, I'm here, I'm here." Your smartphone listens to those whispers, does a little triangulation, and tells you exactly where you are, often down to a few meters. It's like having a personal astronomer in your back pocket, except the astronomer never gets tired and doesn't charge a consulting fee. Then there's the rise of digital mapping platforms like Google Maps, Apple Maps, and OpenStreetMap. These are not just static images, they're living databases, constantly updated by millions of users who add new roads, close old ones, and flag that the coffee shop on the corner now has a secret menu. The result is a map that evolves in real time, a collaborative masterpiece that would make any medieval cartographer weep with joy, or possibly with jealousy. Under the hood, these platforms rely on Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, a technology that layers spatial data onto digital maps, allowing us to analyze patterns, model scenarios, and make decisions. Want to know where the best spot is to open a new pizza place? GIS can overlay demographics, traffic flow, and competitor locations to give you an answer faster than you can say, "extra pepperoni." And let's not forget the revolution of aerial and satellite imagery. Companies like Maxar and Planet now capture high-resolution photos of the entire planet every few days. These images are stitched together, analyzed by artificial intelligence, and turned into the crisp satellite views you see when you zoom in on a remote mountain or a bustling megacity. It's like having a global telescope that never blinks. Augmented reality, AR, is also stepping onto the map, literally. Imagine pointing your phone at a street corner and seeing floating arrows that guide you to your destination, or historical photos overlaid on the present-day buildings. That's not science fiction, it's the latest iteration of the map, and it's only going to get more immersive. If you're finding this journey through the world of maps as fascinating as a treasure map leading to a hidden chest of gold, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got more amazing stories coming your way. How maps change the world. Maps have never been just about getting from point A to point B. They have, on many occasions, rewritten the very course of human history. Consider the age of exploration. When Christopher Columbus set sail in 1492, he was following a map, specifically a set of miscalculated charts that suggested a shorter route to Asia. While he famously discovered the Americas, his journey was powered by cartographic optimism. The maps that followed the explorers didn't just record new lands, they claimed them, dividing the New World between Spain and Portugal in the infamous Treaty of Tordesillas. In this way, maps became tools of empire, drawing lines on paper that would later become borders on the ground, shaping nations, wars, and the lives of millions. In war, maps have been as lethal as any weapon. During World War II, the Allied forces used detailed aerial surveys to plan the D-Day landings, pinpointing the precise beaches, dunes, and fortifications of Normandy. The success of that operation, and the subsequent liberation of Europe, rested on cartographic precision. Even today, modern militaries employ geospatial intelligence to coordinate drone strikes, troop movements, and humanitarian relief, proving that the pen, or the pixel, is indeed mightier than the sword. Maps have also fueled economic growth. The early trade routes, from the Silk Road to the transatlantic voyages, were plotted on maps that connected distant cultures, enabling the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies. Without accurate charts, the spice trade would have remained a risky gamble, and the Industrial Revolution might have been delayed by a few centuries. Urban planning is another arena where maps have left an indelible mark. When city planners lay out new neighborhoods, transit lines, or parks, they rely on detailed maps that show topography, zoning laws, and population density. The grid of New York City, the winding boulevards of Paris, and the canals of Amsterdam all exist because someone at some point consulted a map and decided, yes, this looks like a good idea. Perhaps most surprisingly, maps have shaped our very perception of the world. The Mercator projection, for instance, inflated the size of the Northern Hemisphere, subtly reinforcing the idea that Europe and North America were more important than they actually are. This cartographic bias has been debated for decades, prompting cartographers to create alternative projections, like the Gall-Peters projection, that aim for a more equitable representation. In this sense, maps are not neutral. They are lenses through which we view the world, and they can either reinforce or challenge our biases. The future. So what does the map of tomorrow look like? If the past is any indication, it will be something we can barely imagine today. One of the most exciting frontiers is the mapping of other planets. NASA's rovers on Mars are already creating detailed maps of the red planet's surface, and upcoming missions aim to chart its subsurface, atmosphere, and perhaps even its water resources. Imagine a future where Google Maps Mars tells you the best route to the Olympus Mons hiking trail, complete with real-time dust storm warnings. On Earth, the convergence of AI and mapping is set to make our maps smarter than ever. Autonomous vehicles, for instance, rely on ultra-precise three-dimensional maps that include not just roads, but lane markings, traffic signs, and even the curvature of the road. These maps are updated in real time as cars drive, creating a constantly refreshing data set that could one day eliminate the need for human drivers altogether. Personalization is another trend. Your map could soon know your preferences. Perhaps you prefer scenic routes over fastest ones, or you love historic districts. Imagine a map that proactively suggests detours to a hidden gem of a bakery, or warns you that your favorite coffee spot is closed for renovation. It's like having a personal travel concierge that lives inside your phone. And then there's the promise of digital twins, virtual replicas of entire cities that can be manipulated in real time. Want to see what a new skyscraper would look like? Or simulate a flood scenario? A digital twin of a city, powered by high-resolution mapping data, can do exactly that, helping planners make better decisions and citizens visualize change before it happens. Finally, as we grapple with climate change, maps will become essential tools for understanding and mitigating environmental impacts. From mapping deforestation in the Amazon to tracking ice loss in the Arctic, geospatial data will help scientists visualize the planet's health and guide policies that could determine the future of our species. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of maps, please hit the like button, share this video with fellow geography nerds, and subscribe to the What Is channel. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when we explore the next mind-blowing topic. Bonus fact. Here's a little cartographic nugget to leave you with. The largest hand-drawn map ever created is the Kunyu Wanguo Quantu, a Chinese world map from 1602. It measures a staggering 5.5 meters by 3.5 meters and depicts the entire known world at the time, complete with thousands of place names, illustrations of peoples, and even mythical creatures. It was produced by the Jesuit missionary Matteo Ricci and his Chinese collaborators, and it remains a testament to the power of maps to bridge cultures, even when those cultures are separated by oceans and centuries. So the next time you glance at a map on your phone, remember, you're holding a piece of history, a tool for the future, and quite possibly the world's most sophisticated doodle. Thanks for watching, and keep exploring.